give you the option.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Option. I am your special guest host once again, Sam. By popular demand, I'm back. Welcome, guys.
Wait, whoa. Hey, hold on a second here.
Wait.
You were allowed to be host last week when I wasn't here. I'm back now. Okay?
Somebody forgot to mute James
to your other role. Okay.
Well, there goes our listeners, I guess.
You filled in.
Welcome back, James. Great. This is awesome.
Nice
Sam, thanks for filling my shoes for that 1 week. Don't get too far ahead.
They were so tight. Those shoes were so small. Like I had to take them off midway through, James. I don't know how you wear those.
I mean, it's really hard to be the host. I get it, Sam. I understand. I mean, you did an admirable job. I was happy with it. And I mean, we did get some people saying that they thought you were a good host, and I took that all into consideration and
the check is in the mail,
into
guys.
The host role. Yeah, so we're good.
The check is in the mail, guys. Thanks for the feedback.
Welcome everyone back to the show. Your host has arrived again. I'm back. I hope you're enjoying that. If not, I don't really care. With me, I've got Phil, I've got Frank, and of course, as you already heard, Sam is here for some reason. I don't know why, who let him back in, but we're all here to talk football again. Gentlemen, I missed you guys last week. I know you guys definitely missed me because I was one of the main topics of your discussion for most of the week, but that's all right. How you doing?
Not bad. Welcome back, James. I mean, missed is a kind of like a strong word. I think it was kind of like one of those lingering odors that you're like, what the hell is that? There's something wrong here, and we couldn't figure it out. But we just carried on. So
I don't know, man. You guys talked about me a heck of a lot for you not to have missed me. I'm just saying. I mean, even, it might not have been great things you were saying, but I mean, you did bring me up often, and it seemed that you wanted me there to at least, listen in.
Yeah, it's more for comedic effect more than anything else, really.
Sure, that's what you could say, but we know you missed me. It's all right. I get it. Don't worry.
All right. Okay.
But we're back. We're here.
We wanted to show you what happens when you miss an episode.
That's right.
I'm going to try my best not to do it again because I don't want to leave the fans in Sam's hands again. So we're going to, I missed hearing my voice. I'm not going to lie. I know some people might say
you're the only one, James. You're the only one.
There it is. Perfect. Well, at least one of us is. Unfortunately, my brother Nick couldn't be here today. He's feeling a little under the weather. He wanted to be here, but we'll stand the fort without him and carry on. Gentlemen, we got some big news in football this week. I mean, we might as well just start with it. This one, we want to dedicate this show to Frank. Frank, the Detroit Lions finally won a football game.
Cue the clap track.
Styling and profiling, baby. We may be 1-10-1, but baby, we won the Super Bowl, baby. 364 days coming. Whew.
Frank, think of it this way. You're undefeated in December. Congratulations, buddy.
That's right.
Frank,
you believe that?
On this call right now, okay, your team is better than two other people's teams on this call. Just saying.
For December.
Yes. For December.
For the week.
So far. It is the 7th of December.
But you know what? You can have this one, Frank. It was great. I cheered, man. I thought I was a Detroit fan for a second. I was super happy for them. I had money on Minnesota. I didn't give a shit at the end. I was like, yeah, okay, great. Go Detroit.
Oh, man. The world must have been cheering for them.
So, Frank, please.
They were shocked about it, too, I think, when it happened. It was like, really? We won? This really happened?
Well, they were winning the whole game, and then typical Lions fashion, I'm like, oh, they blew it. Here we go again. And they blew it. They messed everything up royally, like it's typical. They with the going for it on 4th and 1 on their own 30, and then it fumbles it. Like, oh, here we go again. We got Jared Goff, not Matt Stafford anymore, to drive the ball down the field in a minute with no timeouts. But the friggin' guy did it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
So did the Lions win or did the Vikings lose? Like what?
No, the Lions won. We're going to give this one to Frank. We're giving this one to Frank. He deserves it. He's withstood all this disappointment and all the insults we've given him, so we'll give it to him. So Frank, can you take us through your day there when they got the touchdown? How was your feeling and what happened?
I was,
how high did you jump?
I think I went through the ceiling. I couldn't believe it. Like I like the game was done. I'm like, this is typical. Like they're just gonna mess up here.
I'm
like,
pretty
there's
sure
no way
I got
they're
a
gonna
few
score.
messages from you before that drive, and I can't say them on the air. There was a lot of profanity in there, but you definitely weren't happy at that point. And then all of a sudden,
they pissed that game away for all intents and purposes. I mean, I'm not going to blame them because they won, but I mean, it was a badly coached game. At least that couple drives right before the good one. But I just can't believe it. It's still amazing. And tonight,
you had a good football week for yourself, eh?
My Michigan Wolverines. Last week I wasn't here, but they finally beat Ohio State after 10 years. Harbaugh finally beat them. We finally go to the Big Ten Championship. We won against Iowa this past weekend. We're going to the playoffs. Michigan in the playoffs. We got to play Georgia, but I mean, the way they play, they could beat anybody right now. Somebody wake me up.
For those of you that obviously you can't see what's going on right now, but Frank's got a smile from ear to ear, and I haven't seen him this happy in a very long time. So it was good to see. I'm happy that the Lions won. I hope this doesn't ruin your first pick overall chances, though, because now you guys are on a winning streak, right? So
first pick. Hold on, so does this make them like Super Bowl contenders now? Like, what do you guys think?
In your eyes, yes.
Which Super Bowl? Super Bowl? Like, what year are we talking?
The Sacco Bowl?
Are we talking like 2027? Oh, okay.
Sam, what year of the rebuild are they in? We've established this.
67, I think.
Something like that. Whatever it is, right? Yeah.
It's been a long road. It's not even a nice road. It's just all
very bumpy,
dirt, gravel road, a lot of potholes. Yeah. Like Pat McAfee was saying today, I was listening to him. It's been a long road, but I mean,
so I was
a little light at the tunnel.
On Monday, I brought my daughter to school, and one of the other fathers that I see when I bring the kids to school, he's also a Detroit fan. Frank, I can't believe I found a second Detroit fan. I know, I've never didn't think I'd ever find
more than one.
Anyways,
when I see one, I smile.
Unbelievable,
so big,
right? So, anyways, we're talking football. And he comes to me, starts laughing because he's like, it's like another world. He's like, the Lions won and the Leafs lost that night, and he was just like, "What's going on?" And then he starts talking about, they're going to ruin their first pick overall chances because they're going to win another game. And I looked at him, I go, listen, it took you this long to win the first one. You're already thinking about winning a second one. Like, just enjoy the first win. Enjoy that you got one, and just, because you probably won't get another one the rest of the season.
One day at a time.
I don't know. Maybe they're over the hump now. That's what they've been.
They're not over the hump. They're not over the hump.
Scenario. Maybe they don't have the goose egg on their record, and they get the first pick overall.
Yeah, no, that's. I think they're done. That you guys won your Super Bowl there. You can enjoy it now, and you can finish out the season with losses all the way through.
Hey, they got an easy matchup this week.
Oh boy,
I haven't looked at the schedule. Who are they playing this
Houston?
week?
Do they play Houston?
It doesn't matter who they're playing.
They play Denver.
They play Denver this week.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. If we get Teddy figured out, we'll be okay.
I mean, if we're going by records in December, the Lions should be favored, right, Frank?
They're hot. Yeah, they're on a heater.
Just saying, they're on a one-game win streak. I mean, that's
right.
And my 49ers played Detroit already on week 1, and it was not an easy win.
Yeah, it almost cost me.
It was not an easy win.
In other news, other teams that won this week, my Cowboys won this week. Yes, we did on Thursday night.
Ooh, where's the boost?
So long ago, I forgot about it.
We took care of business.
You beat a team with 9 missing starters.
Exactly. Yeah. Congratulations.
Did we win the game?
You even want what?
Does it say W beside the team's name? Because when my team had the injured players on our side, you were still ripping on me when they lost games.
You're
but
yet
when we play another team with injured players, all of a sudden it's because you beat a team with injured players. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys still have injured players too, but that's okay.
Taking advantage of a team at its weakest point. That's fine.
Right.
Just do me a favor and beat Washington this week, man. Okay,
we're going to talk
Dallas
about that,
seems to beat teams that don't matter, but the teams that I need them to actually beat, the teams in the playoff contention, they mess around.
Listen, Safran had a chance to do some damage and win a game against a team that wasn't very good, and all of a sudden they did not beat the Seattle Seahawks.
We killed ourselves. I'd say missing Debo hurt a lot, but I mean, George Kittle's an animal. It was all the mistakes. And I can't believe we lost Emmanuel Mosley again, too. Guy's a top 5 corner in the league if he can only stay healthy for more than 3 games a season.
And I'm pretty sure all three of your running backs walked off with injuries. I don't even know who's starting this week again. They're talking about that there's no starting running back again. So if anyone's available,
they don't
wants
know.
to go run a little bit.
They're trying out Brian Hill and a couple other guys as we speak right now.
So
Kerryon Johnson.
So they already did that. He didn't make the team.
Them and everybody else.
Yeah, because they got to replace poor Trent Cannon too, who almost died on the field this week. They brought the ambulance right onto the field to take him out. It was horrible.
So is the San Fran running back position officially the scariest position to play in all of football? Like just that team? Because I mean, I don't know a year that a running back on your team has been able to start the year and finish the year.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword for pretty much any running back there. I mean, you're at a super high injury risk because of usage rate and just straight up bad luck. And the other side is you're behind the best run scheme and run line out there. So do you want stats? Do you want notoriety? Do you want like a paycheck? That's the place to be. But do you want to maybe end up with a torn ACL?
But what's going
Luckily,
on here?
There's been no serious injuries. It's just been a game or two.
What's going on here in San Fran? The last couple of years is it crazy? Is it like is it a bad field there? Is it the training staff? Like strength and conditioning? Like
you know what? It's definitely a question worth asking because this is two and a half years straight where you're losing notable players on the regular and 6 to 8 week injuries. Like we're talking IR. So I don't know. Maybe it is something they have to investigate, whether it's training or facility or the field or whatever it is they're doing.
Even equipment, like if you're putting their own cleats on guys,
it's possible. I mean, it's hard to chalk up to bad luck over such a long duration of time.
There's so much stats, like evidence out there.
So there was another team that lost this week. We haven't talked about them yet. Why don't we bring that up? So how did your donkeys do this week?
I gotta say, I mean,
you're being quiet there. I thought you thought you'd get away with it without getting the,
No, listen. I mean, look. Bottom line is this:
they lost
against. That's true, but they played against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they did lose. But I don't think Kansas City actually really kind of ran away with the game. We were moving the ball pretty well. We just couldn't score. Like it was one of those things where it was like me and Madden. Like I'd get it down there and then I can't score, and then I did throw an interception or whatever. Like
I've been having troubles in the red zone too, man. It's killing me.
See what I'm saying? you got the Teddy Bridgewater disease, obviously, but I don't know, man. Like when I look at it, it's really crazy because I'm looking at the stats here as we're talking about this, and Pat Mahomes, was 15 for 29, 184 yards with no touchdowns, 0 touchdowns. Let's not forget that, 0 touchdowns.
He ran one, though.
It doesn't matter. He didn't throw one.
He ran
and 1 interception. You look at the Broncos, you got Teddy Bridgewater, 22 of 40, which, is all right, I guess. 257 yards and 1 throwing TD and 2 interceptions. So he actually outperformed. I'm looking at all of these stats. Look at the running. We had Williams with 101 yards. We had Boone with 35 yards. Even Teddy ran for 17 yards. And then you look at the Chiefs, and basically you're looking at Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 54. They combined, they basically all three, even with Pat Mahomes in there, they ran for less than 100 yards. So all the stats on these that I'm looking at here doesn't point to a 22-9 loss, even though we did lose. I'm not going to, what I mean? Like
you're looking at it that way, and yeah, looking at the numbers, it looks like that. But this team has had a dramatic change. They're no longer that high flying team that we know from 2-3 years back. The KC Chiefs. The
100%.
They're not that team anymore. And Mahomes has had to evolve, and he is evolving. And what they're realizing
he's doing terrible. That was a terrible game for him.
It's not that he's doing terrible.
184 yards.
Defenses have figured out how to stop Tyreek Hill down the field. They actually said it during the game that defenses are now putting 2 guys back and they're taking away that deep ball threat. And so what happens is Mahomes now has to take the small underneath stuff. And this is what he's starting to do. So his numbers aren't as high as they used to be, but that's okay because they're leaning on the defense, which is playing unbelievable right now all of a sudden. And that defense is helping them win games. And
that was the difference. It was the defense that made the difference. So do you know who KC's top receiver was that game?
Damian
Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
60 yards. He caught 3 catches for 60 yards.
Darrell Williams?
Darrell Williams. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said Damian. Sorry.
But
Williams.
it doesn't
D.
matter
Williams
because did they win?
No. But I'm just proving your point.
Because we're going to
James.
talk in a little bit about another team that won, and their quarterback only threw 3 times.
Listen, I'm proving your point. I'm proving your point. But what I'm saying is, you're right. Like, they needed to change their game, and if what I'm saying is, if the defense didn't step it up with those 2 interceptions, they wouldn't have won this game. Probably, it was really crazy. But Teddy kind of put himself in very awkward situations and cost the game, in my opinion. But when I look at this, top 3 is Williams. The next receiver is Clyde Edwards-Helaire with 28 yards. And then the next one after that is Kelsey with 27. These guys, they are checking down. You're right.
They didn't have to throw. He's checking down. He's taking down.
Our defense did the job. Our defense did that job. Held them.
It sounds like
running under 100.
The Chiefs did essentially what they needed to do to beat a good Denver defense. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah. It's not so much that your team played bad; they did what they needed to do. The difference in the game 100%. in a 22-9 game is the Chiefs took what the defense gave them and executed, and Denver on offense didn't. Ultimately, Bridgewater still threw 2 interceptions, which could be the difference in that game. He was 22 for 40, which is only 50% completion, which means even his checkdowns and stuff on 3rd and short or 3rd and long or 1st down, all of those important plays that you need to move the football and keep a rhythm, he missed on those.
But so he usually has a higher percentage.
Hold on, Pat Mahomes was 15 and 29.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I'm not saying your defense wasn't great. But I'm same completion percentage. You're right.
That's my point.
Both quarterbacks didn't have a high completion percentage.
And Mahomes is supposedly top tier guy. Bridgewater is a journeyman dude, and he's trying to do whatever.
He is top tier. The problem with the Chiefs, and like I said, they figured out how to stop Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. They're starting to play man. The defense is starting to understand it. They're seeing it, so they've had to evolve, right? And that's what they're doing. The scary part is this, though. If they get to they're going to get to the playoffs. They're going to have this new sort of regime of how they're running things. But at any moment, Mahomes can throw that ball deep again whenever he needs to. It's just a matter of having Tyreek Hill open down there. So if they take their eye off the ball and change that scheme against them a little bit, I mean, they could open that game back up. They just haven't been able to because of the way defense.
They haven't needed to.
The only way that these guys are still where they are is because their defense is stepping up for them every freaking week.
That's a luxury. So take it from me, a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah,
having a defense that can win you games, it's a luxury.
That's what I'm
saying. You don't even have an offense that wins you games. I don't know what you have.
And I'm sorry, the defense could keep you in the game as long as you want. They can make a couple of turnovers. If the score's still 10-7 for an entire game, all it takes is one high-powered play
exactly.
Field position
ruin your night. And in the playoffs, it ain't a 7-game series. This ain't the NBA. You know what I mean?
So
this is a single game knockout.
At the end of the day, KC won, and the Broncos lost. So that was, that was
nice.
My
biggest takeaway from that game, though, is not that Denver was worse than Kansas City or that Kansas City was worse than Denver. My biggest takeaway is that the Patriots could beat both.
100%.
I don't think Kansas City can beat the Patriots if Kansas City ends up facing the Patriots in the AFC Championship,
especially if it's in Foxborough.
Well, I mean,
you got to
think of
the Patriots.
Depends on much prep time. I think if they're both prepping for that, it's
Let's get into that game. What about that Monday nighter? That was the weather conditions, the atmosphere. That was like a playoff game ready to happen. Both teams ready to go. I remember watching the kickoff there because I had a kicker versus Sam in one of my fantasy leagues. I needed 30-something points. I lost anyways, but we're laughing because I'm saying how many field goals does he need? And then all of a sudden I get the wind conditions and I see the first practice kick. He tries to kick it through the uprights from 15 yards out and the wind blows it right back past him. And I'm like, yeah, this one's over. And it was just crazy winds. And then
I'm cold thinking about it. Oof.
New England comes out and they threw one time through 3 quarters. He had one throw for 12 yards and they rushed every other play. And that throw,
32 rushing plays in a row. 32 in a row.
Did you see
That's
the
insane.
throw? But did you see the throw that Mac Jones threw? Like, so right after he threw that, that's when they decided you're not throwing again. That was it. Like it was he overthrew N'Keal Harry. Harry made a stupid catch because he tipped it and then caught it on the way down. And they're like, okay, you're done. That's it. No more. And they just ran, and Buffalo couldn't stop them. It was like as if it was just like you knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. The best was Peyton and Eli. They're sitting there and they're saying, okay, play action, play action. The play action never came.
Nope.
They never did it once. They just continued to run the ball down their throats, and
they set up the play action pretty good.
It was crazy. They finished with 46 runs versus what do you end up with? 3 throws, I think it was.
Yeah,
3
passes. Yeah, 2 for 3
completions.
Yeah. I've never seen a stat line like that. Unbelievable, and they won the game. It was like, what's it called? The Buffalo coach McDermott. I thought he was going to blow a gasket. He was so livid on the sidelines, so mad. He came out after the game and he's already said, he's like, don't give Coach Belichick all the credit that you want to give him. I mean, that Mother Nature there deserves most of the credit in that game.
Please.
Oh man.
You know what deserves the credit? The gaping holes you left in your defense, that deserves the credits. Like they're trying to play it off like, oh, you know what? Harris got this one big play, ran, 60 yards for a touchdown, whatever it was, 50 something yards. And then it was just repeat. But they were moving the ball. Like they were moving the ball.
They've
up and
got
down
good
the field,
running backs.
Yeah, of course. But everybody was running. Bolden was running. Like they had everybody.
I looked at it once in the third quarter. I'm pretty sure they had 9 different runners that had at least a carry. I'm like, all that was missing was Belichick to carry the ball once.
Right. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Buffalo has struggled against the run all season, and the Patriots took advantage of it in really bad weather.
Man.
And Buffalo can say all they want that they gave up that one big run to Damian Harris, which is true. If you look at the stat line, they held Stevenson to, I believe, 80 yards on 24 touches, which is really good. But the entire team ran 4 or 5 yards every play, controlled the ball, and you could not stop them from converting first downs.
Absolutely.
And how do you win football games? Time of possession, first down completion percentage, and touchdowns in the red zone.
Yep.
So even though our friend, I forgot his name now, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, you just mentioned his name, I forgot his
Sean
name. McDermott, saying, don't give Belichick the credit. I think you have to give Belichick the credit because he knew exactly what he needed to do. He looked at the conditions and he said, this is what we need to do. And this is how we need to execute. They were pulling guards from one side to the other. The plays that they were pulling on, like, did you guys see how intricate that offensive line was playing? Like, it was basically like, when we play Madden, I keep going back to this and you're doing that run defense thing, like, for practice. That's what it was. It was basically a run practice clinic. That's basically the whole game. And
they failed.
Did not have an answer.
They didn't even get a bronze.
Exactly.
Well, and it's funny you say that. He had that probably already drawn up before they gave him that game.
100%.
Like he is so good still. I mean, he's the mastermind behind the whole thing. How many of us? I don't think any of us would have predicted that they would be back at the top of the division and or top of not at the beginning of the season, Sam. Lately, yeah.
About 4 weeks in, I was saying
at the beginning of the season, not a single one of us would have said that New England.
I'll concede that Sam was the first person to jump on the bandwagon and be like, yo, this team's legit. I know early on they haven't beaten a lot of good teams and they've lost a couple of close games, but they're legit. But I don't think we're all going to sit here and say that we thought they beat the leader of the division over Buffalo.
No.
I knew they were going to be back in the playoffs.
Me too. I knew ahead of time that defense was a top 5 defense. They got a lot of players back. The free agent signing were amazing. But I was a little skeptical on their offense. Not in Mac Jones, but in their signing. I thought it was a very passive type of offense. But it works
they still don't have any receivers.
It works.
They still have no
Kendrick Bourne is a beast.
Don't tell the New England
slow.
Patriots that because they're basically making it work. Whatever they're doing,
yeah, man.
I get it, but they don't have an A-list receiver though.
They don't need.
We just talked about this. Hold on, we just talked about this with KC. You mentioned with Hill, shut down Hill, you take it away. Shut down Kelsey, you take it away. When you have 6 or 7 people on the field, 9 guys running the ball, and doing all of these things where everyone is a weapon. Maybe not a huge weapon.
And the Josh McDaniels box of surprise.
Exactly.
Right? Every time you crank that wheel, bing, 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 bing. You get a new jackpot comes out, and it's a crazy play.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. You don't know which way to turn. This is the thing, right? Like, so
but that's what
maybe
he's always
that's
done.
more dangerous. Maybe that's more dangerous, right?
Brady only had one solid wide receiver, a superstar, and that was Randy Moss, and that was the year that they almost went undefeated and beat the Dolphins record. Other than that, I mean,
that was also the new regime Patriots. That was the new regime Patriots.
But they made Amendola who he was.
Early 2000 Patriots.
Right.
Early 2000.
Edelman, all of these guys, right? He made, like, the system made these guys.
But that's what I'm saying. The only guy that he got ever that was outside of that was Moss. Moss was the actual only alpha receiver he's ever really had that he didn't make or that was there. And, I mean, he did wonders with them. They broke records, but at the same time, he never needed one. And he won. I mean, do you guys remember Deion Branch? Did any of you know who Deion Branch was before he won MVP of the playoffs?
No, of course not.
No. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, right? That's early 2000 Patriots, where they had an exceptional defense, a fantastic kicker, and a quarterback that didn't turn the ball over.
Yep. They're gonna be a scary team down the stretch.
It's not the Randy Moss Patriots. Right?
No, it's not.
It's not the high octane, Brady's the best quarterback in the world Patriots. This is we are the best team type Patriots.
So are they going to win the conference?
Cast. It's an ensemble cast. These guys, like, even like, if you look at that, you mentioned Branch, you mentioned like White, who won the Super Bowl MVP, the running back. What's his name? I forgot his first name.
James White.
But James White.
Where is he now? I'm right here. Like,
he's injured.
Sorry.
James White.
But I'm saying, like, these guys are like middle of the road journeyman guys on most teams. They don't have a cast of superstars. The system works, man.
Yep.
Belichick's system works.
Yeah,
that's why they got. That's why they brought Mac Jones
around players.
100%.
They just can't seem to draft players well, with the exception of Mac Jones falling in their lap.
No, but they do draft well, Phil. What they do normally is they trade those first round picks to get multiple later rounds, and then they draft the players in the middle rounds better than other people do.
They
never seem to hit on first round picks.
Because they trade them away normally.
30 seconds.
Belichick always trades out of the first round. When he gets down to the bottom, especially in those 30, 28, whatever he is, he trades out. And he goes and gets 2 seconds, and he'll figure something out later.
He just goes for a walk, leaves his dog in the chair, and says, let me know when I'm ready.
But you're right. When they take one, like N'Keal Harry, he busts. Like, this is what happens. So, but it works with Mac Jones. Mac Jones fit perfectly in that system, just like they said he was. The idiots are the other NFL teams that decided to let Mac Jones fall to the Patriots. And it's funny because all through draft week, that's all everyone was talking about was Mac Jones to the Patriots fits perfectly. Why would they let him do that? Why would you let him?
I don't worry about what other teams are doing. You worry about your own team.
Yeah, I don't think there was some teams that need a quarterback that wish they took Mac Jones right now.
Would Mac Jones work in another system?
I don't think he would work.
Just not as well.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Sure, he would work, just not as well. You need the right system for right quarterbacks.
This is
I don't care who you are. Look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback, but Nick Sirianni has built a run-first, multiple weapon, multiple running back system that suits Jalen Hurts. Look at Lamar Jackson, who is not Jalen Hurts. But Lamar Jackson came in and everyone laughed. They're like, there's no way. Convert to wide receiver, do this, do that. John Harbaugh built the team around his strengths and gave him time to develop into a decent quarterback, a decent passer at least, and an exceptional runner. Yeah.
Listen, in my opinion, I think that Mac Jones would be one of those lower middle tier quarterbacks on most other teams. I think Mac Jones fits the system perfectly. He's disciplined. He's not a flashy guy. He takes what's given to him and he listens. He doesn't try to do too much.
He had the highest IQ of all the rookie quarterbacks coming in.
That's what I'm saying. He's a smart guy. He's
smart.
Like, what's up, right?
He's coachable. That's the thing.
Exactly. Thank you, Frank. He's coachable.
Yep. I agree. You have to hit on the nail. You have to fit in the right system, obviously. Would he be doing better in Jacksonville than
absolutely 100% no.
Than Lawrence?
No way, not at all.
I don't think anybody could do better than what's going on already there, just because that team's not very good. And
I'm glad you brought that up, though. We're talking about system and system importance. Is Trevor Lawrence's career in jeopardy in Jacksonville?
No, because they're going to fire Urban Meyer in a year, and then you'll have a new coach, and then they'll figure it out with a new coach.
They're still going to be garbage.
He's a rookie.
It's still
There's growing pains.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I get
It's
it.
still
but
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's
What
got
high-profile
pieces.
coach is coming over to sign in Jacksonville to take
He's not-
over for
this is-
Urban Meyer?
This is year one of a rebuild, a whole new regime.
And Frank,
You
if anybody
can't-
knows about
Rebuilds, it's you, buddy.
It's
You
Frank,
know.
man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Year one for a quarterback in a rebuild like that is he's not going to be anything flashy. He's not going to be the best quarterback. He's going to take time to develop. Year three, I think you're going to start seeing.
Frank, I'm pretty sure Jacksonville's been rebuilding for a very long time.
No,
too,
but
just
they've
like
got a
the
whole new.
Lions.
They've got a whole new regime. Once the whole new regime comes in, hires their guys, brings their guys in.
Got to keep.
How many
Yeah, but
regimes
it's
did the Lions
slows
go
your
through before they got to
development.
this one?
These are important
That's got
years.
after 26.
I mean, look at Tannehill,
Yep.
right? Tannehill ends up in a regime that is very well organized and run by a very
right.
logical and intelligent head coach, right?
Mhm.
With some stability that put some faith in him, and it turned his career around.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
that
just
happens.
As much as I think, just as much as James, you mentioned, like, okay, we got to build around the quarterback, or was it Phil? I don't remember who mentioned that, but maybe both of you guys. But the reality is, in my opinion, you have to have the appropriate pieces around that quarterback to make it work, right? And so
I'm with you.
that's
100%.
that's the difference,
100%.
right? Like, and it's not even just on the field. I'm saying off the field, right? Like, you need to have those pieces, and you need to be able to get the best out of that player. Know exactly where he excels and where he needs work, and not say, give up on where he needs work, but I would say focus on where he excels, and that's where you're going to be more of a winning
Expose
team
his strengths and hide
Exactly.
his weaknesses. Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Well,
That's what
but
Belichick
you have
does.
to also factor in not many rookie quarterbacks come in their first year, go
Exactly,
to the playoffs
yeah.
and win a Super Bowl, right? I think only Big Ben and maybe one other really
No.
did that.
22 other quarterbacks.
Ben was a year two, wasn't he?
No, he
Was
was.
Ben
Big
year
Ben
two?
was the
Was it-
last one to do it. Big
Yeah, it
Ben
was his rookie year.
the last. Yeah, in 2004.
Oh, that's right. Tommy Maddox was there game one, and then Big Ben came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
So-
it be insane if they did it in New England?
I don't
Wouldn't that
think
be
I don't think they're
crazy?
going to win the Super Bowl.
Who's
I
going
mean,
to stop them?
I think the picture though that the NFL wants though is a New England Tampa Bay Super Bowl final.
That would be amazing to watch.
That would be amazing.
Imagine that right
That'd be
now.
amazing
Sitting
to
there.
watch.
Imagine the money.
You see Bill Belichick on
Yeah,
one
they would
side,
just see
Tom Brady
dollar
on the other.
signs. Dollar signs.
I mean,
And that could, you know what? It's not. It can happen. It's not.
of course it
far
can.
fetched.
It can.
It's not
So-
far fetched.
So are we saying New England is the number one dog on the AFC side? Is that
I think
official?
until
Is that-
Buffalo can
I
beat
think so.
them in 2 weeks, yeah, they are.
if
does KC have a chance to take over New England?
Yes,
Do they
yes,
play each
of,
other?
Of
Sure.
course, of course. No, I don't think they play each other this year in regular season.
Okay, so there's still a
but
chance.
KC
depending.
always has a chance. They
Now,
still have
and because
Andy Reid.
because the
They've played
Cowboys
each
beat
other
New
many
England, the
times
Cowboys
before.
are better, right? That's how that works.
We're just going to pretend he didn't mention the Cowboys and just move on from there. Frank, I have
Come
a question for you. Frank, we're talking about
Yep.
quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks and stuff. And we're kind of all in the same field where we're like, it's not necessarily beneficial for the young quarterback to end up being drafted on a really bad team because it slows their development. So
Mhm.
you being on the Lions, who have actually some really good pieces, not a lot, but some really key pieces in some good places, especially on the offensive line and in the running back position. Do you think you guys should draft a quarterback with your first pick or in the first round at all? Or do you add more weapons and wait to the following year?
This isn't the year for the quarterback. This isn't your Phil Simms 84 class by a long shot. I mean, I really think they're going to go defensive end, either Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan, who was rocketing up the draft board, lately. I really hope they go with him because he's a stud. And
You don't think they're going to go Sam Holwell or
No,
CJ
no.
Stroud or
I
who's
think
the
they can
guy
get
from Oklahoma?
Spencer Atman. He's not even going back.
Matt
No, not rather
Corral,
the other one. Then sorry, there was another big one that
Matt
came out.
Corral,
Matt
somehow.
Corral, and there's
The Heisman Award. The guy who just got oh my gosh,
Spencer Rattler.
was it Rattler who went for the Heisman? No,
No,
it wasn't
no,
Rattler.
no.
There's another college rookie that's coming out. But anyways, you don't think they'll go that route? I
No,
think they'll go.
I don't think so.
quarterback.
I don't think so. I hope they don't.
I don't think it's beneficial at this point. Right now, even if they, that guy's not going to.
I
He's
think
going
it's
to be a rookie still, and to help that team,
too high of
early.
a value not to do it and try to get one of those big guys.
I would.
I look at Arizona. Arizona drafted
Wasted
one
a pick
at
on
number
Josh
10.
Rosen.
They did,
Rosen.
but they had to waste it because what if Josh Rosen was something? He was supposed to be
No,
something.
they didn't have
But then you invest
to.
all that draft.
They didn't have to. Like,
No.
I'm not a believer that these teams need to reach for whatever quarterback is available the following year.
agree.
But if your
I
scouting
agree.
report doesn't think that they're going to be franchise quarterbacks long
I
term,
agree.
especially in a position like Detroit's in, you have two. I believe you guys have 2 first round or 3 first round picks, don't you?
Two.
2. So you get a defensive end right off the top, like a Thibodeau, amazing, and then you get another defensive player, defensive
receiver
line,
would be nice.
corner, linebacker. Doesn't really matter. You get another
Yeah.
top first round pick. Okay, most likely you finish the season next year with 2 wins. Sorry to say, but that's okay. You're picking in the top 3 again. Then you get your quarterback, maybe a Bryce Young.
Maybe.
Yeah, but then what if one of the quarterbacks in this year's draft turned out to be that guy? What if you gave up on the guy that was? I mean, look at Chicago, who's
You have to
kicking
build
themselves for
long-term.
giving up on Patrick Mahomes when they did, and all the other teams that missed on him.
But Detroit
you
can't
got-
be drafting flashy players. This is a long-term rebuild. You need long-term success. Making it to the
Yeah,
playoffs
but
once
and what's the
is
most important
nothing.
position on your team, though? The quarterback. Look
Not
at
if
the
you're
reason why
Jacksonville.
San Fran's looking for a quarterback. They think they found it in Trey
But
Lance.
San Fran has
Freaking-
everything they need aside from a corner.
The Donkeys have been looking for a quarterback since Peyton Manning retired.
Exactly. Those teams are built
we
for
built
a
around
quarterback.
it. Right,
Right.
exactly.
Those teams
Now's
are
the
ready
time
for a quarterback.
Now's the time.
But you
to
put a
see.
none of
rookie
these-
quarterback on one of your teams, it's still going to take them a couple of years
But none
to
of these
develop
guys-
before they become.
Maybe not.
Not
Maybe
necessarily.
None of these guys
Did it
are
take
that-
Patrick
none of-
Mahomes that much time to develop? What about Aaron Rodgers, 3 years on the bench?
Patty
That was
Mahomes
4
on the bench.
Oh.
But none of these guys this year are that surefire starting quarterback right away.
I agree with
none
you,
of these
Frank.
guys. It's not a very deep class. They're better off waiting.
Okay, I think we
Brady
can
this
all
one.
agree with that from what we know about this class. But let's take the class out of the picture. Let's say it was this year's class. Would you be taking Trevor Lawrence?
Knowing
Yeah,
what you know
I
now.
still
you
take.
mean.
Well, I mean, knowing what I know now. I think I'd still take Trevor Lawrence if my team was a little bit
In a different system, I think he would do well. To be honest,
I don't think
Like, if
Trevor
you
Lawrence
pop-
is bad. I
if
think
you
he's
pop
still
him in-
probably the best quarterback in the class long
yeah.
term.
But if you pop him into like a
How do you give up
49ers
the
or
generational
Denver,
talent?
right?
How do you give up
there's
the
a
option
generational
on
talent,
that
no
generational
doubt.
talent like Trevor Lawrence?
Sure. Okay. Trevor Lawrence may have been the exception. You could have gone a year back because Trevor Lawrence, everyone's been waiting for this draft class for 4 years. So maybe that is the exception to the rule. There was a lot of quarterbacks in this draft class and all of them will be starting next year. So, but I mean,
But for every Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow, how many
Ryan Leafs are there.
How many Ryan Leafs are there? How many?
Look at
Vince Young,
Johnny Money.
Jamarcus
I'm gonna use
Johnny
Russell,
Money Manziel.
I'm going to use
right?
my Cowboys as an example.
Mark
Dak
Sanchez.
Do you guys know Dak Prescott's a 4th round pick? Did you know that?
Yes. I thought he was a 5th round pick, actually.
I'm pretty sure it's 4th. He was drafted in the 4th round. So, you know what I mean? When you can find a diamond in the rough like that later on, or, you hope that you hit there. But I mean, you have to also look at guys like Peyton Manning didn't go off on his first rookie year with Indy
because
either.
that was a 1 in
it
15
took
team
him
going in.
Yeah, it took
Yeah.
him some time
Troy
to figure
Aikman was
that
the
out.
same. Troy Aikman was a 1 in
Drake was
15
on
team.
1 in 15.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
Matt Stafford
but
came
those
in.
are 1st round picks that are there too. So I mean, we still don't know. Trevor Lawrence could turn that team around. He's got the ability in that, and I mean, I still think they need to get rid of Urban Meyer because I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing in NFL, and I don't think he deserves to
Keep
be
him
there.
out of the bars as well.
The strip
It was his own
clubs,
bar.
yeah.
It was his own bar.
It was
Ultimately,
Was it a
yeah,
bar? Strip-
I like
whatever
to
it was.
build
And
it was
some
his
sort
bar.
of a base
Do whatever
before
it
I
was.
draft my quarterback.
I get it. That's a great idea, and I think that's. It's a good thing too. But I mean, I don't know if giving up the value of getting that quarterback in the 1st round, if they turn into something, is something that's there.
Well,
I
you
mean,
kind
but
of
if
said
it's a
though,
risk,
Dak
though,
in the
the
4th,
reach-
buddy.
yeah, but
Russell Wilson in the
that-
3rd.
We got lucky that Dak turned into that in the 4th, because if you look at what they actually tried to do that year in that draft, they almost tried to get a quarterback that the Denver Broncos took in the 2nd round. Thank you, Denver, because you guys cut him.
Denver can't draft quarterbacks.
And then a
man.
guy that Oakland stole from us, they traded up and took another quarterback that they wanted there as well. So the Cowboys just took Dak later on just as a whatever. But I mean, technically Romo was still there and Dak was just going to sit on the bench and they'd see what they had in him afterwards. That was the whole point, right?
That's luck. That's luck.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's what that was. 100%.
At that age,
that
I don't
into
think
this.
you can really predict who's going to be the next 10-year Pro Bowl quarterback. Hall of Fame level quarterback.
Yeah.
If that
Regardless of
quarterback's there
projection.
first overall, you guys are there, and there's a quarterback that is deemed, top of the class, I still don't think you can pass on that, though. That's the way I'm.
But there's no top guy there.
Yeah.
But we don't know where he's looking ranked wise versus the defenders yet. I don't know if Sam Howell, CJ Stroud are both going for the Heisman right now. They're both top of the
So is
class
Hutchinson.
of quarterbacks.
Hutchinson's in the line for the Heisman as a defensive end.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's nuts.
I haven't seen that in a while either. So yeah.
So what does that say about the offensive class if you're looking at that?
Exactly.
Right? Like this,
Exactly. And I mean, there's going to be some quarterbacks in there, but
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't necessarily
That's
mean
right.
those guys are
Well,
first round draft picks.
When we get to the
At the end of
draft
the day,
episode,
franchise
we'll figure this
quarterbacks.
out.
at the end of the day, guys, they give out a Heisman every year.
Yeah.
And the level of that Heisman player changes every year. Sometimes it's the Heisman, and then sometimes it's the medium man or the low
medium man.
They just Ron Dane.
I'm
I
just
like
saying,
that. So who's the low man winner this year?
it's like being the king of the stupids. You're still stupid, but you're
Johnny
the king.
Johnny Manziel won the Heisman.
James
Johnny
proud of that.
Manziel.
James is proud of that award. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Well,
Nonetheless,
my Lions. I hope they take Hutch. And you'd love to see him go from Michigan to Detroit. I would love it if there's 3 teams there with 2 picks in the top 10 right now. If they would love to jump up and take somebody, that'd be a sweet trade down if you get 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah,
but
with like the
Well,
Jets or something, and then
somebody-
the
Eagles,
Giants
their
may
picks
want
for
a new
one,
quarterback.
have
So
three.
if the Giants don't get Russell Wilson, there's a chance the Giants try to trade up, they'll get a quarterback. So
yes, sir.
depending on how good or bad the quarterbacks are. But
I would be
anyways,
okay with that.
We'll save that for a draft episode later on down. Okay, guys, let's continue into what's over here. Another thing that happened this week, this brought up a huge stir between us in our chat that we have. The Baltimore Ravens Pittsburgh Steelers game. This game was awful. I don't know if you guys watched it. Aside from them trying to kill each other every play, which I thought was crazy because these 2 teams hate each other. It was a boring game until the end. And it came down to the end. Baltimore was leading the entire time. Pittsburgh all of a sudden comes back, takes a lead. No one really believed that was going to happen. Baltimore comes down. They're down by 7. They get the touchdown. And all of a sudden, coach decides, I'm going for 2. So they go for 2. They call up the play. Mark Andrews gets open. Lamar throws to Andrews. Yes, the pass was a little bit high. Andrews gets his one big paw on it and doesn't really try to really catch it. I don't know. And it drops and they lose the game. And there's a shot of Hardball's face where he's just looking at it like, what the fuck just happened? And they end up losing. My question to you guys, and this is where we had the argument side, is that the coach's fault? Is that the quarterback's fault? Or, sorry, first, before we even go there, do you go for 2 to win the game or do you tie it and go to overtime? What would you do if you were coaching a team that came down to that spot? I'll answer first. I think I tie the game, take my chances in overtime just because of something that could happen like that. The percentages of my kicker kicking it through the uprights to get the 1 point versus me going for 2 and winning it are a lot higher, especially when Justin Tucker's my quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I would
He's your
rather
kicker,
go.
not your quarterback. He's
Sorry,
your
my kicker. Yes, I would rather kick the extra point and go for overtime. Is what I would do. Do you guys agree with that, or would you take the chance? Are you
100%.
riskier?
I'm kicking the field goal.
The extra point.
The extra point.
The extra
sorry.
point, yeah.
Yeah, I would kick the extra point too in that situation. Yes,
I
Phil?
would not.
No,
I
you
would
would
not.
not, eh? He's full of shit.
Okay. So I thought about it long and hard, and yes,
What?
I understand.
You would kick the extra point.
I wouldn't. Okay, and it's
Okay.
all about context to me. Now, 98% of the time, I'm kicking the extra point. But if you kind of think about it, you are on the 5-yard line, right? That's where they do it for the 2-point conversion, right? From the 5?
No, from the 2.
Is it from the 2 for the 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. From the 2-yard line to win the game, 1 play. Or you go into overtime, you may not get the ball to start. You've lost Marlon Humphrey for the game. Pittsburgh's been coming on in the second half, and you pretty much struggled to tie the game to begin with. Okay. You have a chance to eliminate a division rival and take the lead and hold on to the lead in the division right now with one play. You have a great play in your back pocket. You just don't execute. In this particular situation, I really can't be mad at John Harbaugh for making this choice.
Oh, neither am I.
I think it was the right choice, and it just kind of didn't work out for him, and it sucks. I mean, that's momentum that could carry on for the rest of the season. That's a huge win. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin have played each other 30 times. That's insane. There is a crazy rivalry in that team. So from that perspective, in that particular situation, I think I would have gone for it too. It just sucks that Lamar threw it a couple inches too far, and Mark Andrews did. I don't know.
I think he fell asleep harder to catch that, but
yeah, it kind of looked like he flopped, or maybe he was expecting Lamar to just chuck it into his gut.
That's what it looked like.
Rather than lead him, and they were kind of like not on the same page. Yeah, because it looked really weird the way he made the play on the ball.
He threw it on the outside. You're supposed to throw inside.
Yeah.
You know, listen, the big debate, I mean, listen, I think all of the things you're saying in that situation makes sense. I'm saying for me as a coach, I would have probably kicked it. But at the end of the day, all of the things that you just outlined make a lot of sense. And the big debate in the chat was not about whether they should have went for it or not. I think, you know, people, like I was saying personally, that the coach made the right call. The coach called up the right play. The execution was lacking. Yep. And honestly, I love Lamar, but I blame Lamar. I don't think that throw was very good. Yes, could Andrews reach it? Yes, but you got to remember, this is a big dude in stride, reaching out, trying to see situationally where he is.
He was turned around too.
He was back-footed, right? This is the thing. So it was a walk-in. That was a walk-in touchdown. Like, had he thrown the ball a little more accurately, it was over. Like, so I don't blame Harbaugh at all. And I think that,
but you have
Lamar
to blame Harbaugh. You said it. It was his call to go for two. It was his play call that he made, and it was the right play. They didn't make it. So because it didn't work out, because of the execution. His fault. No, it's on him.
Absolutely,
he made the call.
Absolutely.
Sure, it is.
He made the call. He made the call.
He made the
right call.
No.
Dialed up the right play. He dialed up the right play.
So if they made it right and they made the play, would you be saying that, oh, Lamar Jackson made the play and amazing, they won the game because of Lamar? No, you'd be saying they won the game because of the coaches. Right. So they didn't make it. So now it's the coach's fault that they lost. It's the same thing. The
only thing that didn't work was the
It doesn't matter. It's still on the coach.
The
coach made the decision. They lost.
Is this guy smoking crack? Like, what's happening here?
How is it that? How is it that it's the?
Wait, let me talk.
I don't like hearing you talk.
But you just talk over people.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The coach called the play, right? He called, we're going for two, right?
Right.
So it's done. We need to dial up the right play. Yes, it's done. Mark Andrews was open. That was done. The throw was off. So how is it the coach's fault? The only thing the coach could have done is thrown the ball in order to make it his fault.
No, I get it. It's his players that have to make the play.
How's it his fault?
We both said that. It's his player. But we just established that if they made the thing, you would have just said that it was the coach's call. The coach won the game because he made that call. At the same time, it's the coach's call. The coach made the call. They went out and did it. They didn't execute.
Correct.
But it's still against the coach. The coach should take that because he made the call to do that.
Everything worked.
No, because
the
players could still miss. You're making a call on the
coach is in charge of strategy. The coach is in charge of strategy.
And it was his decision to go for that, and they lost. So it's on him.
But it was the right strategy. And
that's fine, and it should have worked, but it didn't. So it should be on the coach still.
If they go for the extra point in a cold winter game and they miss, is it on the coach or on the kicker?
Good point.
There you go.
It would still be on the. I mean, if it's cold, like if it's in that Buffalo game, if we're talking the Buffalo game, and they, it's a valid point. Yeah. But if it's that Baltimore game and the winds are the way they are, and they still went for a kick rather than whatever it is, I mean, and that the ball is going to fly back at you. I mean, again, that's
like in the Buffalo game, you mean?
Based on what are you talking about? Bucker shanked an extra point the other night.
It happens all the time with these
ultimately, it's nobody's fault. You don't blame anyone.
You can't blame him for having balls.
What Sam said was true. He made the right call based on our opinion of what you should do in that situation. He called the right play. After that, the coach washes his hands of the situation. He did his job. Now it's on Lamar. But Lamar is the quarterback, which means Lamar lives and dies by the glory. He either makes the throw and he's the best, great job.
But
or he misses the throw and he's the worst. You messed up.
And
because ultimately he's the one making the play. But there is no there's no blame.
But the quarterbacks do, because the quarterbacks get that win-loss record. And I don't agree with the quarterbacks only getting the win-loss record, because the quarterback is only one part of this team. And he's
but the team gets the win-loss record. There's no
win-loss quarterback. Record. If you go look at all statistics,
but they're only compared against other quarterbacks. Their win-loss record's not compared against other wide receivers.
But they're still compared to them. You don't see any wide receivers with win-loss record. No one knows what those are.
But they do the same thing with pitchers too. Like I understand how the stat can be misleading, win-loss record, for just quarterbacks. But ultimately, they take the glory too. And if anyone made a mistake, it was whoever did the play wrong. Because like Frank said, he doesn't think Mark Andrews knew where that ball was supposed to be going. I think Mark Andrews wanted it to be in the gut and sit on the route, whereas Lamar thought it was going outside. That made the mistake. So one of them was wrong. But
either way, it's not the coach.
If Lamar threw the wrong route, it's his fault. If Andrews ran the wrong route, it's his fault.
I guarantee
either way, in those scenarios, it's not the coach.
The percentages of what they did was the coach's decision to take that chance, and that still is a higher percentage of it not working versus the kick, which we've established. And so that's on the coach.
But how do you know they didn't? Go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
Go, Frank.
I guarantee you they've been practicing that situation
all for sure year. They have. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly what I was going to say.
They've been probably ran that play 100 times, and they probably ran it perfect every time.
How do you know Lamar didn't run over during the timeout and be like, hey, look, if we score on this next play, we're going for 2, right, coach? And Harbaugh's like, absolutely. I have the play drawn up right now. We've been practicing it for weeks.
But if 2-point conversions were that easy to make and that easy of a decision to do, why don't they do them every play instead of kicking the ball?
But statistically, if you look at it, they
do it a lot more.
Better.
They do it a lot more now.
They've been doing it more lately. Don't get me wrong, but it's still not. They still opt to kick.
I don't know, man. One play to win the game. It's kind of tempting to pass that up.
Think about the scenario. They had a hard game, like Phil was mentioning. They just got scored on. They got the ball back with less than 2 minutes left. I think they had like one timeout or something like that. I don't remember, but
had their best drive of the game.
Basically down the field in less than 2 minutes. Momentum is on their side. They're clicking finally.
Pittsburgh's playing prevent defense.
Exactly. Yeah. And so then the coach rides that momentum, because that's part of the game as well, and says, we have the right play. We've, like Frank is saying, we've practiced this a million times. We know that this works. We've also scouted the defense. They're playing soft. They're looking for a run. They think we're going to run. They're spying Lamar. There are so many variables there that made him say, yes, this is the right play. Dialed up the perfect play.
I'm not disagreeing that it was the right play and the right call. I'm just saying that it's not on Lamar. I'm saying it's the coach's call still at the end of the day, because he made the call to do that. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong about the right call and the right play.
Wait a minute. But to Frank's point, if they chose to kick and then Tucker shanks it, whose fault
then
is
it
that?
should still be on the coach too, because it's the coach's
call.
Kick the
extra point? Come on, James.
It's at the end of the day, it should always be on the coach. The coach is the one that draws that makes the play. Is the coach that says to go for 2 or go for 1, or is it the players?
It's the coach,
job.
But correct. So if it's the coach, it should always be on the coach.
It can't.
It's the coach's job to analyze the game with how everything's going.
Yes, right. And if that's the case, then it should be on the coach, not on the players.
To me, it's only on the coach when the call is bad. And in my opinion, going for 2 in that situation was not a bad call. Right? If you are not calling a timeout and the clock's running out instead of trying to get the fucking ball back, okay, and you're not calling a timeout, that's a coaching mistake. Calling back-to-back timeouts and getting a penalty, that's a coaching mistake.
We won this week, Phil. Right? Man.
But hold on,
like that, you know what I mean? Those are coaching mistakes.
But you guys are making
your team not executing is not a coaching mistake.
I didn't say it was a coaching mistake, though. I'm just saying that the blame needs to go on him. That's his call.
Why should he be
That's all I'm saying.
blamed if he didn't make a mistake?
Because
Coach,
it's his call to do that. Like, I mean, you live and die by your call, right? And so if the team didn't make it, if I'm the coach and I decided to do that and try to go for it and win, and we didn't do it, I'd be the first one to say, yeah, I chose to do that. It's on me. That was my choice of play. It shouldn't be on Lamar.
To me, that's nothing that you as a coach should be apologizing for. That's not a mistake. That's like saying Seattle against San Francisco this week on their very first drive, they faked a punt and scored a touchdown. What if he got tackled and fumbled the ball?
Yeah,
would that have been the coach's fault?
Sure, because it was his play to decide to do that.
It was his.
The players didn't decide to do that. The coach did.
The result of the play is not necessarily his fault.
The execution of the play
when he
is on
calls
the
the play is his fault. The situation, his management of the situation, his analysis of the situation,
it's
but
always
the
on the coach.
execution cannot be on the coach.
No. The execution of a play can't be on the coach.
I get that. But if like we have already said, had the play worked and they got it in the end zone and they scored, we'd all be saying that he was smart for making that decision and whatever.
We'd be saying, look at that dime he's
like the play didn't work. No, you already said, Sam, that you'd be saying it was on the coach. And the fact
personally,
that they didn't
but a lot of
make
people
it,
wouldn't.
Sure, they would. And the fact that they didn't make it, it's the same opposite. It's just that, and again, yes, Lamar screwed up. Yes, he called the right play. Yes, they should have scored. But at the same time, the coach made all those decisions, and the coach should be the one that, you didn't make it. Okay, then it's on you. Like, that was your decision. They didn't make it for whatever reason. It's on you.
But to me, I think the way that you're phrasing it, there's no blame to go about. In the press conference, they're not going to say, blame, hey, Phil. Whose fault is it for losing the game? And the coach is naturally going to say, throughout the game, we could have made better decisions. We could have made better plays. We could have done that as a whole.
But I'm sure you can find a bunch of plays throughout the game that someone else made a mistake.
Yeah. But he didn't make a mistake. He didn't get the result he wanted, but there was no mistake made. Is what I'm saying. There's no blame to be had because no one fucked up.
Someone's blaming someone for the fact that they lost that game. At the end of the day,
lose a game and not make a mistake. The game was lost before that last play.
Guys,
no, because they could have tied the game and they could have went to overtime, and then who knows what would have happened? Maybe they would have lost.
It's our last topic.
Who knows?
We're talking about this like a bunch of bananas. I guarantee you, Lamar had to take a shit. And he's like, this is the last play of the game. We're done after this. So
that's
either
what
win or lose.
To John on the sideline.
Yeah,
he's like,
I got to take a shit
because I got to take a shit. I can't get through overtime right now.
Tell you what, for all of you that are listening, drop us a message. Let us know what you think. Do you think that it's
why James is wrong?
Yeah.
Please tell me why James is wrong. I would love to hear it. I mean, we're not wrong, but that's okay.
He wouldn't listen to it. He'd hear it. He wouldn't listen to it.
I'd read it. I'd disagree with it, and I'd talk to you about it. But that's okay. Nonetheless, gentlemen, yes, this was a fun topic. We got heated in our chat. Got heated here. I'm always right, but we'll end it with that.
We love to talk over each other. Hopefully, it's not too bad in the recording.
We got heated there. It's okay.
It's fun. That was good.
It's good.
Good timing.
It's good. Let's move into our picks of the week. Phil, why don't you give us an update of what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I can do that. I'm going to get an updated Instagram page. I know I've been a little slack on that. It's because we've all been all over the place. But the totals are currently sitting in first is Nick Still at 60-39. He is currently 3 games up of Sam, who is at 57-42. Tied for third, 5 games back, is James and Phil at 55-44.
That sucks.
And rounding out the bottom is Frank
at
45 and 54. But to
one.
Frank's credit, he does take a lot of long shots or underdogs trying to catch up. So
how is that to his credit? That's not to his credit. That means he's making bad picks.
Well, if he wanted to, he could just copy Nick's picks and switch.
He's
one or
also
two every
picked the
week
Lions every single week. I mean, that's just
because he's proud.
And
he's on a 1-game winning streak, baby.
And he's used food choices as well in the past.
That's true. That was one of his best weeks.
All right, let's get into this week. What do we got going here? I should put the right week on my.
We should have got Nick to send us his picks first. So this way he can't copy us to try to keep the lead.
He won't be able to see it. He'll send you the picks before he hears this, so we won't even know.
He's going to log into the account and listen to it.
Oh, he might do that. Knowing my brother,
no, I don't think he's
like
that. I don't know.
For
He's
sure.
got 5 minutes. He's too
I can see Nick
lazy.
doing that. He could do it.
He's too lazy.
Anyways,
No.
let's start with the Thursday nighter. We got the 6-5-1 Steelers at the 5-7 Vikings, who just lost to your Detroit Lions. Frank, we'll let you start with this one.
Minnesota.
You're gonna take Minnie at home?
I mean, they played the Lions, so I can't blame them for the loss. So Minnesota.
I love it. Minnesota loses to Detroit, but they're picked against the Steelers.
Oh, it's
They're
awesome.
back in the they're back in the dome. They're happy.
And the Steelers just beat Baltimore, but now they're going to lose to Minnesota, who lost the Lions. This is fantastic stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, Sam, where are you going, buddy?
I'm going with the Vikings as well, man. I think it's a bounce back win for them.
Phil?
That was
You guys suck. I'm taking Minnesota too.
we were hoping we'd go the other way. It feels like
Yeah, man, I really was. Minnesota's getting 3 defensive starters back.
Shh. James hasn't picked yet. Don't
He's
tell him this
gonna
stuff.
pick Pittsburgh because he wants to get up a game on us.
I don't know where to go with either of these two teams. I don't like either right now, what's going on, but the thing that bothers me is the embarrassment of losing to the Lions. The Vikings should come out and destroy. But the Vikings are missing Adam Thielen again this week, probably because of the hamstring injury. I think it was a hamstring.
That's why Nick's gonna go with Pittsburgh.
And Dalvin Cook is not playing still. And I know Madison was okay in his backup.
Yeah, he did a
but
good job.
That Pittsburgh defense is good. I'm going to take the Steelers. Although
Alrighty.
Big Ben on the road sucks. I hate that. Okay. This might be one of the biggest games of the week. My 8-4 Dallas Cowboys at the 6-6 Washington football team. A little bit on this one here. So Cowboys are 2 games up on Washington. We faced them twice coming down the stretch.
Ooh.
Do you guys think, before we get into the pick, I won't answer this, I'll let you guys talk, but should my Cowboys be a little bit afraid with what's going on in that division? Do you guys think the Washington football team is for real? What do you guys think?
I don't know if they're for real, but
I think that they're not for real in the sense of like winning the Super Bowl, but they could definitely mess up that division. I mean, they did this last year too, if you guys remember. Like towards the middle end of the season, they started coming on strong, Washington, and I think they're doing it again this year. It's this starting to click there. So that's just me.
spoilers.
Ooh,
Yeah, I definitely
okay.
wouldn't take them for granted. I think Dallas should take them as serious contenders.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially with 2 games remaining against them, those could be huge. So winning this right off the bat could seal it for Dallas.
A lot of people say that the Cowboys' problem is when you get to this point, because they think that they're so far ahead, because they think that they are so much better than everybody else, they play down, and this is a trap game where they think that they can see Washington kind of upsetting here.
These games are like 1.5, man. Like they're worth more.
Yeah.
All
they're
right.
worth
Well,
more.
with that,
How
I'm
did you
obviously
hijack
gonna go-
the picks into Dallas friggin' conversation? Move on.
That's what I do. With that, I'm going to take my Cowboys over Washington. So
Surprise.
lock
So does
that
Nick.
in.
I'll write that down already.
Phil, where are you going?
Frank. Okay, I can go. I'm worried about this game. I think Washington can win, but because I need Dallas to beat Washington for my 49ers, I'm going to take Dallas.
Frank?
I know you and your brother are taking Dallas, so I got to catch up to you. So I'm going Washington.
Beautiful. Sam?
Going Washington.
Beautiful. I just like when I go opposite Frank because his picks are always lower anyways, and I usually win that way, so this is fantastic.
That one
Let-
might bite you in the ass.
Let's keep going opposite. Okay, this should be fun. The 2-10 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 8-4 Tennessee Titans. I believe Julio Jones is making a return off of the IR. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Sam, where are we going?
I'm going Titans.
Titans. Frank.
I like the Jaguars with the spread, but I got to go Titans.
Phil.
Titans.
Titans. 4-way across the board. All right. The 4-8 Seahawks, who just came off an impressive win over the San Francisco 49ers.
Lucky
at the
win.
2-10 Houston Texans. Reports are that Tyrod Taylor may not play. I believe he got hurt again, and he might have to sit. They're saying they're going to try to get him in, but they're not sure.
They're probably better with Davis Mills.
Anyone jumping on the Houston Texans here? Anyone?
Who's the backup? Is Mills playing?
Yeah.
It could be Mills, yes.
What the hell? Give me Houston.
Beautiful.
Look at you, Frank. You're alone.
He's going to be alone on a lot of these picks.
Yep, definitely alone on that one.
The 6-6. Wow, they've fallen off such a cliff. The Raiders 6-6 Raiders at the 8-4 Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. Is anyone taking the Raiders? Anyone?
I don't think so.
The Raiders always play them tight, but I don't know about that Arrowhead. Yeah, what the hell? Let's go Vegas. You talked me into it.
Wow.
I'm liking these picks.
He's alone again.
All right. Do we know? I don't even know who's starting in this game. The 5-7 Saints at the 3-9 Jets. Do we know who the starters in this game are going to be?
Better be Taysom Hill.
Hill and Wilson, apparently. As
Better be
Hill and Wilson?
Yeah.
So 2 quarterbacks they can throw. Fantastic. Can we vote on the refs? Am I allowed to pick them?
Can we find out if Kamara's in yet?
The Jets weren't too bad the last 2 weeks.
Is Kamara back?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
He was on a short week last week. He might have played if it was on a Sunday last week, but
I want to know what he did to his knee because it's really bad. Apparently, he's been out for so long. Either that or he doesn't want to play for this team anymore. I'm not sure which one.
That's possible too.
He's embarrassed.
So I am going to have to take this. The Saints have to win this game. The Saints almost beat the Cowboys. I mean, they have.
That doesn't say much.
They won despite playing the Cowboys.
The 2 guys with teams that lost this week were the first 2 to jump in on that one. Hey, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Were you guys in the playoffs yet? Are you there? No, you're not. The Cowboys
I'm
are.
Still in the playoffs. Okay. I'm still in the playoffs.
Barely.
Lots of football.
It's okay. You just got to get in.
If Washington beats
my
Cowboys,
careful. I might be coming to your town.
Oh, that's how. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I was going to pick my picks based on who the Lions need to win to make the playoffs. So,
but they want to change them.
I've picked all AFC teams anyway, though, so we're good. No, they're still good. They could still
anyways, I'm going Saints. Phil, who are you going?
Saints.
Frank.
So I was going to go Saints, but on my new theory, picking AFC team, Jets. Give me the Jets. Now I'm picking.
I was actually picking the Jets the whole time, to be honest.
So take the Jets. Perfect.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. I need to catch up on you, so I need you to get some teams opposite.
All right.
Here we go. 2 5-7 awful teams. The Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Is Sam Darnold back yet? Do we even know?
Who cares?
Who's Carolina winning that division still?
Is it PJ? Is it
as of right now? It's Cam.
Who's winning this division?
Matt Rule said something along the lines of they haven't ruled out PJ Tucker, PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker's a basketball player, but that's
he has great shoe collection.
Yeah,
I just saw this story right now. Carolina Panthers should call Todd Gurley for power running needs. Is that even a real thing? Is that real? Anyway.
Well, nobody else called him up this year, so why would they?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know.
But he hasn't had power anything in his legs since.
I don't even think the 49ers are fucking testing him out.
No, they're not.
He probably wants $15 million a year.
Yeah,
Baltimore year running back didn't go to him. Everyone wanted, no one went to him. So,
fake.
Anyways, are you guys taking the Falcons or are you taking the Panthers? Anyone want to jump in? Anyone?
I'll take the Falcons.
Falcons, Frank.
Go to Phil. I'm just doing the.
Okay, I'm going to take the Panthers at home.
I was thinking Panthers at home too. I don't know why, but yeah.
I just think Panthers Cam needs to play better than he has.
Yeah, that 5 for 27 was awful.
Yeah.
Right now, let's go Falcons. What the hell?
All right. Another split.
This is great. You should be worried, Sam. No, it's good.
Either Frank's going to have an amazing week or I'm screwed.
I'm going with the latter, but that's okay. The 8-4 Baltimore Ravens coming off that tough loss versus the 6-6 Cleveland Browns. Are we afraid of the Browns anymore? Are they even a team to worry about at this point, or are they just there?
Only when they play the Ravens.
So this week they're a team to worry about?
Right? Like, it seems to be that way. I hate the Browns.
I gotta go Baltimore. They need a comeback win after losing to the Steelers. I mean, I think they have to win. The problem is they got so many injuries. It's like it's getting
losing
harder and
Marlon
harder.
Humphrey for the year is horrible.
That's
I think
gonna be tough,
that cost them their chance at the Super Bowl.
Joku's on COVID, by the way, guys.
Yeah, but they don't barely use him anyways. They don't throw the ball in
Just
freaking
saying.
Cleveland. They run the ball. It doesn't.
No, I know, but I mean,
So James
could it
has got
could it be something
Baltimore.
bigger?
I'm going to take Cleveland.
I'm taking Baltimore, as I always do.
I might switch depending on Frank's pick. Hold on, Frank, where are you going?
No, you can't. Too
Well,
late.
Baltimore beat them 2 weeks ago, so I think they're going to be pissed off about last week. So I'm picking Baltimore.
Baltimore beat them 2 weeks ago. They'd be pissed off because of last week. You're taking Baltimore. Okay. All right.
Makes sense. I follow his logic.
I had to do the tree there. Just to, I thought he was going the other way with the way he started that, and he changed it up and screwed me on that one.
You
Okay.
never know.
Lots of
Wild card,
words there.
baby.
The 4-8 New York Football Giants at the 7-5 Los Angeles Chargers. I am taking the Chargers because I hate the Giants.
Chargers.
Taking the Chargers too. Had them last week as well.
Yeah, I need the Giants to lose if the Lions are going to make the playoffs.
Wait, you're taking the Chargers with me?
God.
Shit.
Chargers.
Can't believe you
Chargers.
actually said that out loud. If the Lions are going to make the playoffs,
If it's going to happen, we need a Giants loss here.
He's putting it in the universe, hoping that it,
Crazier things have happened.
oh, I mean, you are right.
I will bet my house that doesn't happen.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Frank, you taking that bet?
what do
I
gotta
get your
put up?
house though.
What
I'm
does
not
he
putting
have
my
to
house
put
up.
up on the line? Yeah. A pen.
Those aren't fair odds.
Yeah,
I
no
put up like
kidding.
$5 on those odds.
Phil, who are you taking?
Oh, the Chargers across the board.
Perfect. Oh, here's the game of the week, gentlemen. I hope you guys, message each other like crazy during this one.
Detroit.
The 10-1 Detroit Lions at the 6-6 Denver Broncos. Sammy, where you going?
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now. Detroit is not the team I'm picking, so it's the Broncos.
Can we pick a tie?
Yep.
You could.
Denver for me too.
Frank, I like you so much. Yes,
Frank,
let's
if you
go for the
pick
tie.
if that game, you pick the tie and they tie, we'll give you 5 bonus wins.
Yes, yes, we will. I'm okay with
Holy
that.
moly. No. I mean, if the Lions are going to make the playoffs, they got to win out. So, I mean, Lions.
Lions? Yeah, you're going Lions? Okay.
They're
that's
they're
good.
hot, man. 1 game winning streak.
Phil, you can
What's
put
up?
me, you, and Nick down for
streak,
the
yeah.
donkeys on this one.
I did, yeah.
All right. The 6-6 49ers at the 7-5 Cincinnati
Oh.
Bengals.
Oh,
Phil,
no.
you're first. It's your team. Go ahead.
The 49ers.
Didn't work for you last week, when you said that?
That was a week that was a game we should have won. This is a week that I don't think it's a good match for them. With Emmanuel Mosley being out, all those receivers, it's scary, but I think we have a chance. I really like our line. Nick Bosa could get to Joe Burrow a couple dozen times. So I'm going to take my boys.
Perfect. Put me down for Cincy.
Yep.
Is Debo back? Will Debo be back?
He is a maybe right now, currently questionable. I would prefer them to sit him one more week personally, just for long-term reasons, but he may play. The issue is the running back situation.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Could I change my Atlanta, Carolina to a tie?
Yep.
Because that's what I need.
No problem.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
We're talking Cincy and 49ers.
If
Not
you
No,
guess
I
the
know.
tie right,
But
you
if-
get +5.
I get
We all
5,
agree
right?
to
Okay.
it. Yep.
I want
You
that.
know,
I want
yeah.
that.
I mean,
And a tie
For
is
this
just to
game-
go into overtime.
Oh,
We'll give that to you, Frank.
even. Okay. I'll take it.
Okay, how about this? That's a little unrealistic. If it goes to
Oh.
overtime, you get the win. But if it's a tie, you get +5.
If it finishes tie. All right, I'll take that.
Can
So
you pick
everyone
the
else is
game
taking
we're on now,
Cincy, I'm
please?
assuming?
What's that?
Are you taking Cincy or are you taking
I need a Cincinnati.
49ers?
I need a
Cincy.
Cincinnati.
Okay, Sam?
yeah, I'd like the 49ers to win, but because I'm not a huge Cincy fan, but I think I'm going to go with Cincy.
All right.
Ooh,
And
the
the last
struggling
4 o'clock.
the struggling Buffalo Bills at 7-5 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9-3. This could be a fun game too.
I'll go first.
They're in Tampa, right?
They're in Tampa. The fact that they're in Tampa, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think teams going into Tampa play very well when they go there.
Yeah. Tampa Bay doesn't affect the Lions' chances of making the playoffs, so that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa as well. I think the Bills were a little exposed, and
this could be bad for the Bills. They lose again here after losing last week too. This could be troublesome territory for them.
I agree.
To drop to 7-6, like they need the win, but I mean,
yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, I'd like to take the over for 800, Alex.
They were giving away free money last night. You could have just took under field goals.
Yeah.
Jeez. Afterwards, if it was still up there with that stat, the Sunday nighter. I'm not too sure if I like this Sunday nighter, but we got the 4-8 Chicago Bears at the 9-3 Green Bay Packers. The only good thing in Chicago seems to be David Montgomery, which Sammy, I mean, that guy could win a championship again this year. He's looking real good. And the pizza. Pizza's good. Unfortunately, they're in Green Bay. They're not in Chicago. So is anyone taking the Chicago Bears led by Andy Dalton? Anybody?
I can't say
I don't think so.
I can't say the other side of this, but I'm not taking the Bears.
So you're taking the Packers?
I didn't say that.
But if you're not taking the Bears, you're taking the Packers. This is the first time I've heard
them both to lose?
You said it.
This is the first time that you are admitting to taking the Packers.
I didn't admit to nothing.
He didn't. He just said he's not taking the Bears.
Are you taking the Bears?
Technically.
I'm not taking the Bears.
I'm writing down Bears to lose.
Bears to lose.
Because that's what we need. We don't need the other team to win. We need the Bears to lose. You know what's going to be
great, Frank? When that little emoji with your face shows a Green Bay Packer logo on it, when Phil does it, I think is going to be
No. Phil's going to put a Bears logo and he's going to cross it out.
Yeah. No Bears.
I'll do that for you, Frank.
Attaboy.
Oh, man. How times have changed. All right. And the Monday nighter, which actually this should be a good game, the rematch between the 8-4 Rams at the 10-2 Cardinals. I mean, we know what Stafford's record is in primetime games and against teams that are really good. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals.
Baby Yoda for the win for me as well.
Frank, you're pondering. Do these teams don't?
Looking at my
they don't affect the Lions, do they?
I don't think anything affects the Lions. What's going to happen with them? But that's just me.
It could. I can't take.
Are we doing a wager between?
It's probably better for you, Frank, to take Arizona.
Yes.
Are we doing a friendly wager between you and Sam on the winner of that game to see, loser gets a face tat or something? What are we doing?
Face tats.
I'm down.
An ass tat. I'll put a donkey on my ass.
Another one, Frank? Another one?
Wow. Anyone to match
his
the other
left
side.
cheek's going to be full of donkeys soon.
Wait.
No, he put on the right cheek now. Come on.
When was the last time you saw? Wait.
That's for all the stars that you have.
I gotta backtrack here. Sam, when was the last time you saw the donkey on his ass?
It was a couple. I don't remember. Kind of drunk.
But, all right.
Summer Speedo.
Oh no, Speedo and Frank. Oh no, that's a bad picture you just put in my head there, Phil. Thank you. That's
there was some smoke.
Banana hammock.
The Borat
brisket
one.
involved. I don't remember exactly.
Shoulders.
Oh man. Oh, for all those people that know Frank on here,
crappy Rams in the last game.
Oh man. Now that you just ruined any fans that are listening to us now are all picturing this, Phil, and this is what's going to happen.
You hear that? That's silence. Nobody's listening.
Crickets.
Man, all right. Those are our picks. Sorry that took a little bit longer than normal, and sorry for the picture that we just painted in your minds of Frank.
You're welcome for that.
Free of charge.
Slide into my DMs.
Poolside wearing coconuts.
Take care of you.
Oh,
check out my OnlyFans.
That just ruined my evening. All right, guys. Well,
link my OnlyFans in the bio.
I need to go burn my eyeballs.
Yeah. We'll put Frank's OnlyFans in the link in the bio there.
Yeah,
Frank's. That's the same amount of fans that the Detroit Lions have. Like one.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
He's
only
paying.
fans.
He's paying and he's committed. All right,
It's only
It's only
fan.
fan.
It's only fan. It's only one. That's it.
Frank, it doesn't
Frank's
count if you're
only
the only one
fan.
watching yourself. It
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
happen the
Yeah.
same way.
And your
That one
girlfriend
fan
doesn't
is-
count, Frank.
That one fan's a diehard. All right, win or lose.
Oh man. Anyways, gentlemen, this was fun. I'm glad to be back and talking with you guys and arguing. It's sad that Sam was here, but other than that, it was a great week, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. For all those listening, thank you. Check us out on Instagram. We'll be posting our picks of the week and anything else we find fun and entertaining. But that's it from us. Have yourselves a good night.
Peace.
Gabe Winter Street coming, baby. Woo!
Not gonna happen.
Not in Detroit.
They're
down the
going to
road.
tie 3-3.
I mean, if you guys beat the Broncos this week, I would be more than happy to see that because I don't
Hey,
think
what
we
if
see
we get
Sam
like
for a
another?
week.
We get like another Snowmageddon or something in Mile High.
Exactly. Anything
Could happen.
Anyone can win,
Could happen.
baby.
Jamal Williams, 205 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I like
I
where your
just,
head's
I
at.
just want to see Sam sweat.
No, I said
think that'd be
Jamal, not
fantastic.
Javante.
Oh, damn it. Wrong-
Jay
wrong
Williams. Jay Williams.
Both
Ron
Williams. Both Williams.
damn it.
400 yards combined in the snow.
J.A. Williams. No, J.A. Williams. No.
Anyways, good night, everybody.
Ciao.
Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.